So you started your YouTube channel, but now you've stalled and you've lost momentum. Let's look at 5 possible reasons that this may have happened and what you can do about it. First reason, you just don't have enough time. There's no hours in the day left to make videos. Well, this is really common and I suffer from this one probably the most. It is really hard to make that priority, especially when you're first starting out because you haven't gained any momentum yet and you're not really seeing the results yet either. So finding the time can be really hard. So the best thing you can do is commit to batching your videos when you're recording them and editing them, and schedule when they're going to go out so that you've got that date to work to. Make sure you do a month's worth of videos. So probably if you're doing once a week, which is a good place to start, so that's 4 videos. So come up with 4 video ideas and film them all at the same time. Now, my big tip for you here, to pretend it's like doing a live stream so that you don't keep stopping and starting and stopping and starting, making your life in the edit really tricky. Do it once, twice at the most, and that's it. Try and get it all out in one go. So then all you have to do in the edit is top and tail. So you're making your life as easy as possible. So if that still feels like too much, then simply do a Facebook Live, because then you're forced to just make it and that's that. And then what you want to do is download that Facebook video and use that as your YouTube content. But the trick is you want to make sure you're getting a whole month to work with at a time. So your aim is to get 4 videos. So commit to taking 1 week where you do a live on Facebook every single day. Now remember, we only need 4, so you've got 1 day's grace for things to have just not gone your way on that day. And don't forget, you could actually do more than 1 Facebook Live in a day. If you feel the passion and if you feel the inclination, then you can batch Facebook Live too. So those are some ideas to help kickstart getting back into the habit and not having the excuse of not having the time to make your videos. The second possibility you might have stalled is because you're seeking perfection in your videos. So like I've said, when you're recording your videos, you've got to put perfection out of the window and do these 2 things. Pretend it's a live video. In television world, we call this as live. So just keep going. Whatever fumbles, whatever errors you make along the way, just keep going. Just keep going. Get through all of that content. And then when you've done that once, do it a second time, again without stopping, but the second time around it's going to flow so much easier. And that's it. Whatever that second one is the way it's going to be. So either you choose the first one or the second one, warts and all, and you just have to forget about being perfect and just know that in fact, by not being perfect, you're being slightly vulnerable, and you're actually going to endear yourself more to your audience because they'll see that you're not perfect, and that's actually a good thing. It's called the pratfall effect. Yes, it sounds like a strange word, but it is a real phenomenon where your flaws or your imperfections are the thing that people like and the thing that make them like you more. So don't worry about putting things off or not doing them, or doing them and not using them because you think they're not good enough. The thing you want to do is to just keep consistent and get those videos out there, particularly with YouTube, because consistency is really important. And remember, in your early days, there's not a lot of people seeing your video content. So that's a really good thing, because it gives you that freedom to then start just finding your feet and getting into your swing, making the mistakes inevitably that you'll make on your videos and being okay with it. So the third possible reason that you stalled is because you haven't seen any growth in your channel. And that's meant that you've felt disheartened, and so you've slowly dwindled away from doing anything on your channel until now it's gathering dust. and nothing's happening at all. Don't worry, because it's really normal to have this feeling. And what I want you to know is that it takes a long time on YouTube to gain traction. The way that views are counted on YouTube are very different to the way that they're counted in most other platforms. So if you're used to how things work for you on Facebook, for example, a video view on Facebook is counted after 3 seconds. And that's pretty much as long as it takes for someone to scroll through the feed and for your video to go straight past. But on YouTube, it takes 30 seconds for that view to count as a view. So it's cutting away the people that are not engaging at a quite deep level straight from the outset. So you know, however, that the views that have counted are views that really do count. They're people that are interested in your content. Wanting to really see fast results, then you have to put in an enormous amount of effort into your YouTube channel. And any results anyway are going to take about 4 months to start kicking in, and that's 4 months of regular content, and ideally more than once a week. If you want to keep doing once a week content, then you need to start having the mindset that you need to do that consistently for about 9 to 10 months before you're going to start gaining some momentum. Now, if you have less than 100 subscribers on your channel, I would suggest that you do a slightly different strategy, and that you start doing a lot more outreach into the community and the people that you already know are looking for support and asking for, and being outright open about asking for subscribers. Once you get over 100, then you need to pull back on that. So if you're serious about growing your audience, I'm going to give you 3 tips here for you to try doing. That's maybe things that you haven't tried doing yet. The first one, and they all begin with a C. So the first one is think about people that you can collaborate with. Look around at other YouTubers or business owners that have a YouTube channel, and they are about the same level that you're at, and see whether you can do a video together. That means if you can't, it's unusual that you'll actually be able to get in the same room at the same time in this digital age that we live in. So you can do like an interview situation where you interview them and then where they interview you. And you share each other's videos in your community. So you want to find someone that has a similar audience to you with perhaps a complementary service or a skill or product. So then you're cross-fertilizing each other's audiences, and you can gain extra growth that way too. The second C is community, and I'm not talking about your existing online community, I'm actually talking about the YouTube community. So you want to start going onto other people's channels, other channels that you have researched that are going to, again, have a similar audience to your audience, and then start looking at the comments and start creating conversations with other people who are commenting. Now, for this to really work, you need to make sure that your YouTube channel, if it doesn't have your name, you at least make sure that you have your photo as the profile picture, not your logo, because it's really hard for people to connect to you when you have, say, a random channel name and a logo image. There's nothing personal there at all. In the ideal world, you would have a name which is an actual person's name and your picture as well. But start commenting on other people, on their comments. Start maybe going on to then connecting through to their YouTube channels and subscribing to their channels and commenting on their channels, and then they'll return the favour to you. And it builds that YouTube community. And it's something quite different probably to what you may have already experienced on Facebook. But it's a great way of reaching a new audience and getting fresh engagement on your YouTube channel. So the third C is one I know you won't really want to hear, but it's so important, and it is consistency. Because without being consistent, you lose all momentum. So you just have to realize that it is going to take time, and be consistent and commit to that once a week program. And it's not just a random once a week, it's a this day at this time every week. So the fourth reason why your channel might have stalled is because you've lost the focus on why you were doing this in the first place. So if you're not really clear on your focus, it's so easy to allow the momentum to drop and to allow your enthusiasm to dwindle, because you really have lost that vision of, why am I putting all this work in anyway? What's the bigger picture? And you've just lost that bigger vision. So the best thing to do here is to remind yourself of all the great things that creating content for your YouTube channel can bring to your business. So remember, there's 30 million people that are on YouTube every day. And just think how many things those people are searching for. And the odds are there's a large part of that number that are searching for exactly the thing that you do. And think of every single video as an evergreen item on its own. And then remember this, that the more someone sees you, the faster they get to know, like, and trust you. And I don't have to tell you already, because this is an ingrained notion and an ingrained truth that all business owners, especially online business owners, are very aware of, that your buyer has to know, like, and trust you. Now with video, it's a really fast way to make that connection with your audience, and you should have video in many places, but YouTube is a great place to have lots of content where you're building that relationship with that person, because the questions that they have about your product or service, you're answering them there in your YouTube channel, and it's searchable content. So when that person is looking for the answer to why should I hire a business coach, or what should I know, what questions should I ask my business coach to find out if they're the right coach for me, or all those different questions, or how can my life be enhanced with crystals, what is angel healing. So if you're the one answering their questions, then you're the one they're going to start building that rapport with and building that trust with. And because they're actually seeing you in the flesh, that's the next best thing to them actually meeting you in person. And they will feel like they already know you. And by behavior now, we are wanting to completely self-select. So by the time we actually contact the service provider, we've kind of already made up our mind anyway that we are wanting to go with their services or buy their products. And that connection, that communication at that point is really just to confirm that everything is turning out the way that you would expect, that it does sound like it is the product or the service that you were expecting from what you saw online. So that's the vision you need to stay in contact with. And just remind yourself that there's all those people out there who want to know what you do and how you can help them. And by not putting yourself out into the world of YouTube where searchable content can be found, remember YouTube is owned by Google, so they share a lot of the same algorithms, then you're never going to get found, and that person is going to go to one of your competitors or remain needing help because you are the right person for them. So the fifth and final reason why your YouTube channel might have stalled is that you've run out of things to say. You've just got this mental block thinking, I don't know what to talk about. What do my audience want to hear? And you're just drawing blanks, and you don't know what to make your videos about. So this is actually not too difficult to overcome. I want you to go into all of those places where your audience hang out, and listen to what they're saying. If you have access to Facebook groups, go into the search bar and search the thing that you do and see what posts pop up, because there's probably some questions that people are asking about the thing that you do. So start paying attention to what those are. In fact, write down those questions, and there you have it. All you need to do is make a video to answer that question. And if you do that for a couple of days, without a doubt, you'll end up having at least 5 questions that you can answer. And there you have just over a month's worth of videos if you're going for the 1 video a week content. If you're still feeling a bit lost, then look at what dates there are coming up in your own calendar, in your industry's calendar, and in the world's calendar. What things are happening that you could make a video about? Is it World Women's Day? Is it Easter? Is it Christmas? Is it coming up to wedding season? Have you got an event yourself that you're planning that you've learned something about? There's so many places to draw inspiration from. Look at the news. Is there something in the news which is connected to what you do that you could create a video about your opinion of? What changes are occurring that are affecting either your industry or being a business owner? What can you say about that? So there's many places to get inspiration from, but the first place to start is really checking in on what your audience are asking and where they're getting stuck, and all you're doing is answering their questions. So those are 5 possible reasons why your YouTube channel may have stalled. It's possible that you're just finding it hard to find the time to make them. It's possible that maybe you're looking for perfectionism and that's stopping you from putting anything out, and so it's just stops you from making anything. It could be that because you haven't seen any growth, you've become disheartened and you just stopped because you're thinking, well, it's not doing anything anyway. It could be that you've lost the bigger picture, you've lost the vision of why you're even doing it in the first place. Or finally, it could be the fact that you've run out of things to talk about in your videos, or you can't find inspiration for what topics to talk about in your videos. So I've given you some tips on the 5 different ways that you could address those 5 possible stalling. But maybe there's something I haven't touched on here. What do you think has been the reason your YouTube channel has stalled? Or maybe you've got some extra input that you can give on one of those things that I've said. What's your experience in getting back on track with video that you can share with the people that need that extra encouragement to get their YouTube channels going again? I'd love to hear from you. And of course, if you found this video of use, please give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel so that more business owners can see videos that I'm making that are going to help them in their business too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.